Hedge, hedge, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday. It's December 16th. It's 2010. This is not a Day 9 Daily. This is the second half of the round of 8 matches for Root Gaming's Warzone tournament, brought to you by DreamHost, who is providing $3,500 in prize money. Thank you for making esports possible. And EG Machine versus Fnatic MSI's Sen. Thank you for making an epic match possible. That will be the first set we will be doing tonight. Right after this, we'll be doing Torrent versus Sake. So, without any further ado, let's go directly into Game 1 of Series 1 of EG Machine against Fnatic MSI Sen. Flam going into the game. In the top left corner, as the festive pink Zerg, we have EG Machine. Known for being one of those good players, long had a period of a bit of a dry spell. Because Machine really does not ladder, he prefers to practice privately in custom matches. He really wasn't making a big visible name for himself for quite some time. He would go to MLGs and would get very, very unlucky draws in tournaments. However, at the MLG Championship, he did unbelievably well, getting a 6th place finish and blasting through a lot of extremely go-to players in the winner's bracket. And in the bottom right corner, we have Sen, who is no stranger to the tournament scene, and Brood War was at pretty much every single World Cyber Games grand final, where he was one of the few people who could consistently take games off those top Korean pros in Brood War. Here he is in the bottom right, under the ID Softball. That is the ID he plays under on the American servers. He is going to be the Blue Zerg. Now, this map is Shakura's Plateau. This map always has you spawn in cross positions, so there's a very high chance that players will be doing early expands, followed by lots of turtling and sitting and just basically watching each other build up. Very, very hard to do a lot of early aggression on this map, with the exception of Zergling, Baneling busts. A lot of Roach busts cannot quite be effective because of how thin this ramp is. Looks like both players are continuing to macro up. Let's just keep a look on that resource station so we can see what food they end up sending their workers out. Looks like Machine's sending 2 workers out to do a very fast expand. Sen only sending 1. Both players going to be doing the hatch on 15, but we can already see that Machine has a little bit less money than his opponent. In the production tab, we see Machine doing his usual technique of throwing down a hatch and then immediately trying to squeeze in 1 or 2 extra drones against Terran. You will occasionally see him throw down 3, but we do see Fnatic MSI Sen pooling right away in his main and then going back to making those drones. Looks like Machine opted for a cross-map scout, as he did have an Overlord hooking up to the north side. EG Machine's drone now moving into Sen's base, seeing everything that's going on. No gas from either player yet. Nope, looks like Machine is now building an extractor. Love this little Overlord hook that Machine took to where he scouted right to here, where he would generally end up seeing another Overlord from his opponent. He saw none, so he's just hooking straight down, motivating that cross-map scout. Very, very nice timing from him. Looks like both players are finishing up their gas. Machine a little bit ahead on that regard, but we do see that Sen's gas is finished himself. Continuing to make drones, just 2 Zerglings coming out right now for Sen. Both players pretty content not to make lings. Look at how Machine is positioning these Overlords. Very nice. Wants to spot anything that can come out while still staying safe from any sort of queen play. There is the hatchery finishing of the expansion for Machine, and his spawning pool now pops. Let's see how many queens he makes. Does opt for 2 queens. Ooh, that's so smart, building his first queen at the front where it would be more needed for some sort of early push. There, the Zerglings popping out right now. That's going to make Machine feel a lot more comfortable knowing that it's just 2 en route. Machine, by getting that gas a little earlier, is getting the Zergling speed a little bit earlier. In Sen's base, we see no Zergling speed quite yet. There's the Zergling speed going down. Neither player really opting for Roaches. Often you'll see players opt for Roach Spine Crawler occasionally on this map because they are some tight spaces, but it looks like all laying all the time for both players. So we might see a nice spicy early aggro game. Machine getting scouted by Sen's lings. There is the queens popping out right now for Machine. Machine also continuing to vomit larva. There's a spine crawler for Sen. Ooh, we even see a roach den coming down for Machine as well, and that's going to get spotted right away. Oh, Sen sees it. He's going to walk right on by. Machine's going to try to chase that Zergling down, prevent any future scouting. In the production tab, we see 10 Zerglings coming out for Machine. 14 en route for Softball. It looks like, oh wow, Sen has completely stopped mining gas in the unit counting station. Both of them have about the same amount of drones. 23 out for Sen, 21 out for Machine. And he cancels the Roach Warren and immediately gets a Baneling Nest. Big trick being played right now by Machine, and it looks like Sen is going to fall for that trap hard. Sen now building a lot of Zerglings to prepare for some sort of huge Roach play, but there are no Roaches coming. Wow, 14 Zerglings in production, and it looks like Machine has not opted yet to move out. He knows his opponent probably has been making more Zerglings than he has. Machine doing a very good job spreading Overlords in a solid line across that center of the map. And ooh, Sen moving out to try to pick those off. There are all the Zerglings from Sen now moving across the map. The Baneling Nest is almost finished. It's at about 90%, and it looks like Machine's not going to have enough time. Oh no, Machine with a critical mistiming, trying to throw down some extra lings of his own. There's a Zergling spread coming out from Sen. One Baneling getting morphed by Machine. That could be enough, but somehow Machine gets a better arc. Oh, wow! Where did all those Zerglings come from? Machine at the last second gets a huge swell of Zerglings. He is at a huge aggressive advantage right now. Both players still not making drones. Only links coming out for both. Machine does have that one lone Baneling out on the map right now. Could potentially just get one big bomb off and end up going in for a win. Having that Baneling Nest out this early is huge, and it looks like Sen's responding by getting some more Spine Crawlers out. He's going to spread those out even more to combat these incoming Banelings. It looks like these lings are surrounding a couple of stragglers, and oh, Machine ends up only killing one Zergling with that Baneling, but that is okay. Machine has plenty of gas to begin a build-up, and there's a couple of Banelings going down, not a lot. Wants to make certain he doesn't over-Baneling, as Banelings are not particularly versatile units. They're just good at nuking clusters of Zerglings. Very easy to over-Baneling, but it looks like Machine not going to make any mistake like that. Still continuing to mine gas there. The Baneling's out right now. And here are the Spine Crawlers target firing, picking off one Baneling. Looks like they're not target firing anymore. Oh, the Zerglings of Machine are just surrounding absolutely everything. These Banelings are trying to get in to detonate something useful. Oh, they don't really get very much at all. Transfuse at the last second to keep the Spine Crawler alive, and Machine's the base that is going to be busted by these Zerglings. Sen marches right on up into Machine's main, and there is nothing here left to defend. Couple of Banelings at the backside trying to do some sort of miracle, but it is not going to happen. Machine losing everything very quickly, trying to produce extra Zerglings. Had a huge advantage at the start with that Baneling Nest and the higher ling count, but wow, what tactical brilliance by Sen. The way in which Sen used his bigger Zergling count to just walk right past those Banelings. I mean, something that you just don't consider is how immobile Banelings are. Most of the time with your Zerglings, you're just trying to run away and hope that you don't lose that many, but Sen showing everyone that you have to end up having some extra defense if you're in Machine's position, because Banelings at the front cannot possibly come back to defend, so Sen very smart with the counterattacks and with that Spine Crawler placement. So very, very, very interesting contrast from the usual Zerg vs. Zerg we see on Shakura's Plateau that's very long-term oriented, has a lot of Roaches, a lot of Mutalisks and teching play going on. In that game, no. Just big mass Zergling, Speedling, Baneling action going on, and Sen managed to use his tactical brilliance and experience to best Machine in Game 1. So without any further ado, let's go into Game 2.